Although someone has a mental, emotional, and physical self, they might typically only be aware of the thoughts that are in their head. In fact, they might even see themselves as a being that is purely mental. This is going to mean that they won't have a good connection with their body. By being this way, they can often experience a lot of negative and automatic thoughts. If so, their mind is going to cause them a lot of problems and make it very difficult for them to be at ease. Another part of this is that they could often experience a fair amount of anxiety. The feelings that they do experience can relate to more surface level feelings such as frustration and anger. Being this way is going to make it hard for them to live a fulfilling life. Sooner or later, they could come to the conclusion that they need help to change how they experience life. If they were to reach out, they could end up having cognitive behavioral therapy. This is then likely to be a time when the point of focus will be on what is taking place in their mind and their behavior. If so, what is taking place in their body will be overlooked. But if they do mention how they feel or their sensations, they could be told that their feelings and sensations are a consequence of what is taking place in their mind. Their mind, or their conscious sense of themselves, will then be the part of them that is in control. In other words, when it comes to change, their thoughts will be what matter, not their feelings and sensations. Now, after following this route and changing what is going on in their mind, they might become more settled, but they are unlikely to become more connected to themselves. The reason for this is that for them to be connected to their feelings and sensations, they are likely to have a lot of pain to work through. It is likely to be this pain that played a big part in pushing them out of their body and caused them to live on the surface of themselves. At one stage of their life then, it is likely that it was too painful for them to feel and take life in, so they had to disconnect from it. But while this would have taken away their ability to deeply feel and embrace life, it would have also kept them alive. Therefore, they had to adapt in this way to survive and keep it together and function. However, even though this would have separated them from their body, the pain that is held there won't lie dormant. No, this pain will put pressure on their conscious mind, and this will cause them to experience negative and automatic thoughts and anxiety, among other things. Their busy mind will be a reflection of the fact that they have a busy body. This illustrates how much of an impact their unconscious mind is having on their conscious mind. The reason that a cognitive behavioral therapist wouldn't realize this can be because they are also in a shut down and disconnected state. This type of therapy, with its focus on the mind, can be seen as something that has been birthed from a place of disconnection, not connection. Still, this is not to say that changing thinking patterns, beliefs, and behavior is not important, but what is taking place in the mind and behaviorally is often an outgrowth of what is taking place in other areas of the brain and body. When it comes to the stage of their life that separated them from their body, this could have been during their formative years. This may have been a time when they were neglected, and abused in a variety of different ways. Either way, this would have caused them to be deprived and deeply wounded. Due to how underdeveloped they were, they wouldn't have been able to handle the pain that they experienced. If they were connected to their body when they were born, and their time in their mother's womb and their birth wasn't overly stimulating, this would have gradually changed. As they were powerless and totally dependent, they couldn't change what was going on or find another family. Their only option was to lose touch with themselves and what their senses were telling them, and lose touch with reality in the process. Over time, being in a disembodied state would have become the norm, and they wouldn't have realized that they were estranged from themselves. One way of looking at this would be to say that at one stage they were sitting in a car, and as time passed, they ended up sitting on top of the car. This would have taken away the protection, comfort, and strength that they had, and replaced it with a sense of vulnerability, discomfort, and weakness. It is likely to take time for them to get back into their body and to not only be aware of their thoughts, but to be connected to how they feel and their sensations. They are likely to have a lot of pain to face and work through. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.